This week on Nation's Business, we look at the role of the National Fire Authority and how firefighters risk their lives to ensure a fire-safe society by engaging with the public.
As a firefighter, normal life is not our life. In here, the call is just happening at any time. So they can be called at any time between from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. The firefighters at that time should be prepared. If any call came in that time, they should respond and respond at proper times, as quick as possible.
This is our rescue truck. For this truck, we have all the special equipments for road accident rescue, swift water rescue, and also includes highline rescue.
It is one of the biggest departments in the nation, with the largest jurisdiction. The National Fire Authority of Fiji handles emergencies across 6,507 square kilometers, with 17 fire stations nationwide, 333 members, and responds to more than 100 calls per day.
Currently we have 333 officers. That's about 288 permanent officers and about 40 volunteers.
Fire kills and injures people yearly and costs many more their valued possessions and memories.
2011, out of the 106 fires, we had 2 fire deaths. And in 2012, we had 95, but we had 12 fire deaths. And I said news about the deaths last year is that out of the 12, 7 were children. And 4 of the children, the sad part about it, they were left alone at home. And their parents went somewhere when the fire occurred, and they could not escape.
Statistics from the National Fire Authority show that most fires in Fiji over the last few years were caused by prayer matches, unattended cooking, arson, uncontrolled burning, mosquito coils, vessel and vehicle explosions, kerosene lanterns and stoves, lit candles, amber sparks, firecrackers. For Nemani Lomata, a firefighter with NFA, most fires could have been prevented if families had had a fire exit plan. He related his experience to a tragic fire which claimed the lives of an entire household in 2007.
So when we entered that burning building, we didn't know that all the family members were still present in the house. And it is something that will never go away from my mind, because it's not normal for us to see people dying from fires. And as we enter the front door, you can see they're lying next to the door. And as you go along in the living room, their mom and the 2 kids, one at the toilet and the other one at close to the back door. And the sad thing about that is that all of them were burned in such a way that we cannot recognize them. And it took time for me to forget that memory.
Firefighting is a heroic and noble profession that tests firefighters every time there is a call of duty.
I would like to be of service to the public and to help them in times of need during emergencies. Like most of the people, they spend their time looking after themselves or caring about themselves. But for this kind of job, we care for other people first before you care about yourself.
Not all NFA's firefighters' workdays are spent responding to calls, and not all calls require attending to. Many times, false alarms are raised. Firefighters spend a high portion of their time taking care of non-emergency calls and activities, such as fire inspections, practice drills, physical training, housekeeping, as well as station maintenance. For every fire attended to, these brave men and women go through extremely challenging situations in trying to save lives and properties. Yet it's the commitment to save lives that keeps them pushing on.
And this, a bunch of men and women that have given so much, and you just can't describe how they go about it. They leave their whatever they have at home, they leave their families, their parents, they leave the children at home to come and work here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And these are the commitment and the love they have for this profession. This is just something that you can just describe. Yes, they're very dedicated, committed. In fact, they've done things that don't believe that they can do. They've gone beyond their limits.
We can never predict when a fire will happen, but we can help prevent it. A fire extinguisher, fire alarms, and smoke detectors in your home are closer to hand than a hose or a bucket.
These detectors are about $50 worth. You put them in a ceiling like that at home, in the corridors or in the bedroom. So when the smoke rises, this unit senses the smoke and it signals a beep. It sends you an alarm. And the alarms are quite loud. They're about 85 dB. And anyone who's sleeping will wake up. You can hear the alarm. This unit I recommend to anyone who's looking for something for first stage in case of fire, early warning. These are the units we recommend.
We do have 4 types of fire extinguishers. One is dry powder. This is a 2.5 kg dry powder fire extinguisher. It is mostly used for any class of fires. That's a dry powder. You can put it in the kitchen or anywhere else. The other type is CO2. That's mostly used for electrical purpose. It's near the switchboard or computer rooms. Number 3 is foam. That's used for flammable liquids.
Fire safety should be taught at home at all times, and children need to be reminded daily that these drills can and will save their lives.
Move to the sides of the walls. One satu dua senalang, sagongkas. Dua tolu. Tangan ng orang ni. Watara mo lalang. Kaya mo toso. Tos talilu. Medo ba? Yung nakato moleka. Sino nakato moleka. Sama não sa ako chilo sa uban ko ni. Kung ana zangi ko lutumengo. Ona de mo na zang bulong-bulongo. Ona mbula. Ya kaya baka andur tengah pa ng rumango. Tubo sa kami ng kumbong. Tapos sa kami ng kumbong. Apa mati ko ng kumbong. Pero min perni de mo na. Stop. Sumabang ko. Drop. Ako. Ubiyan na matamo. Sa mata dito. Bawi. Se mataw. Malala?
The Education Ministry, in partnership with the NFA, have developed a fire safety curriculum, which will be piloted in 50 primary schools before national implementation next year. Remember, if you're in a fire, drop to your knees and move to the side of the walls. Use the back of your hand to feel for cool spots to find an exit. Stay low and stay close to the floor. If you catch fire, stop, drop, cover your face, and roll from side to side.
And they are doing a good job because there is a lot of awareness. I have seen our school children visiting them, and they show them the tricks and techniques. They have been coming to educational programs that are organized. And now that we have formed the partnership of developing the curriculum from the kindergarten to Form 7, that's another huge initiative that we have taken. And if there are any shortfalls, I'm sure we can learn, we can improve and move forward.
Yeah, I think what we've recognized through our awareness programs, it's very effective to target the kids. Because when kids have that information, they then drive the behavior of their adults.
Muna kau boleh tapi nak ni tambah ni file nama tergelele andai. Atau me bawa boleh dan ni kaman dona vale, tikin turu. Gai bakan birna liling ngami benlalang ngong gasiti ko na damu sadur talam dona katumba. Tumba. Baka tal ngaci na kubni namu. Kon to umbi bena pepan da galak ngamengen dona tangi ke buda. Ngai mbalen ke bakan mabalikina. Kena kanra la fan take baka ngate ke utinga kina. Bokada gai marran dona buna benaka.
Here are some steps you can take to lessen the chance of your home becoming a part of these statistics. Inspect your home. You may need to recruit or even hire someone experienced in home electrical wiring, plumbing or gas, heating and air conditioning. Stay in the kitchen when cooking. If you are leaving for just a minute, turn off all burners on the range. Going to the bathroom, answering the phone in another part of the house, simply turn off all burners. Check the natural gas or LP gas system in your home. You will want to look for loose fittings, leaking valves, faulty pilot lights, and debris or improperly stored flammable materials in areas near these appliances. Contact your local fire department and request a residential home survey. They will be happy to provide this service.
I would suggest to any customer that is buying fire protection equipment, first get an advice from the fire authority. And the advice is free. It's not going to cost them money. And once they get the advice, then they go and then probably buy the equipment.
Remember, you only have one life. If you hear your smoke detector or alarm going off, or if you smell smoke or sense a fire, call 911. This will save your life and your property.
If there's any emergency, what we do is answer the 911. If any calls come in 911, we always take their address, their phone number. After all that, then we'll dispatch our fire planes to the address.
You might have just left your house for a minute, but it can take a second for a child to accidentally start a fire. Playing with matches or a candle, even a mosquito coil, can create a fire. Sharwan Prasad, a mother of 3, lost her children to a tragic fire that gutted their home last year.
Every day I just think about them. Every day I just think about them. Sometimes I just hear their voice. They're calling me. Sometimes when I sleep, even night time, I just hear they calling me mom. Sometimes I just call their name. And when I'm alone at home, I just cry for them. She can't come out from the room. This one died in the hospital on Monday 27th. Daytime, this one night time.
Sharwan's husband, Umesh, says the blaze gutted their entire home in a matter of minutes at around 1:30 a.m. that day. Never leave your children alone. The result could be devastating.
Last year, 25th February, it was on Saturday. So that day, everything happens. We was all sleeping. Before the fire, about 8 o'clock I went to sleep. So my kids was wake up, they was watching the TV. They on the generator and they see the TV, then they went back off the generator, then they went to sleep. That day they never light the kerosene lamp because the kids when they want to sleep they just go anyhow. So that day they just let the candle, the small piece of candle, they light the thing and they put on the side. When I wake up, I saw the fire, big fire, and my kids was trapped. So I tried to open the main door. It was late. When I opened the door, it was late. Then I took my mother out, my father, my kids, my wife. Before I take out my mom, it was too late. So I saw my kids, they burning and coming outside. So I was very sad. I fell down. I was standing up like that, I fell down. like I went paralyzed, something like that.
Real cause of fires at the moment is that carelessness. Most of the time, people are not very mindful of what they are doing. Sometimes they do something, then on the other hand, they are doing something else, and they are not concentrating on what they are doing at the moment. So, in terms of safety, they are neglecting the small safety things in regards to their safety, and as a result, they lose their property or they lose their life.
Well, it burned down on Friday morning. It was October 19th. My son Raymond, he normally fixes gas cars downstairs. So that morning this taxi came in and he had just fixed the taxi and the taxi was still there. He came upstairs to go to the bathroom. Normally when he goes to the bathroom, he lights a cigarette first. So what he did, he came upstairs, he took his clothes off, and all the clothes he was wearing must have been, had gas or something on it. So he just dropped it on the floor there and got his towel, went to the bathroom, lit a cigarette. He used the matches, he must have thrown the matches on the clothes that was on the floor. So not even 5 minutes he was there, no, 3 minutes. Our neighbor from across the road started calling fire. And I didn't hear it, I was in my bedroom right at the end. And then fire, fire, we ran out. My other son that lives down just below this, he said, "Mom, what are you doing?" His back started to got hot when he came out. And then he looked up, the flames were already touching the ceiling. Because we had we shouldn't do that really, a lot of books and things all stored here. This was our storeroom. Oh, it was too fast, we couldn't do anything. We tried to save it, we ran up. My youngest son got all scarred with the fire in the flame. It was just too much.
People should never assume that a fire can never happen to them. See, because in every house, we use sources of fire. That means it's a realistic risk that a fire can happen to any of us. It's only if we are extra careful, then we avoid the fires. But if you are not careful, then one time all the three elements of fire will combine and it will set a fire. So fire, the change of attitude we are driving is that people need to take fire safety seriously. That's the main point that we want to drive. When you start thinking about it, say fire is the most, to us, is the most dangerous disaster. If you look at hurricane start coming, you're getting warning. And you can save your equipment, you can tie your house down. You look at floods, warning coming, you can move your things to higher ground. But why we saying that fire is the most disaster? Because if you're not careful, you're not given any warning. And secondly, you can't save anything. The only thing you should try and save when there's a fire is your life and the lives of your family.
कभी भी ऐसे रहो तो अपन लड़कन के अच्छा से देखो, कभी अगर कैंडल भरा है तो ख्याल कर लो। हम वैसे रोज़ रात के चेक करता रहा, लेकिन वो रोज़ ऐसा नींद लगा कि हम लोग उठा नहीं। जब आगे पकड़ ली तब हम लोग के नींद खुला। लड़कन कहीं जाए तो देखो, हमारा लड़कन स्कूल जाते रही, हमें से खड़ा रहता रहा रास्ता पे। वो लोग स्कूल से आए खड़ा है ताकि जब तक वो लोग घर में नहीं हिले, जब तक वो लोग रास्ता पे से जाए नहीं, हमें से तकते रहता रहा। वो लोग के सब रोज़ लोग के अगुरते रही कि अब आवे लड़कन। अभी स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म में लड़कन जब क्रॉस करे तो वो लोग के चेहरा दिखाए कि लड़कन अभी आती न घरे।
I just said, oh God, what's happening? I don't know what. Actually, it was so fast that we couldn't even find a hose or a bucket or anything, that we were so shocked. We just running up and down the house. I ran outside holding on to I just didn't know. Where's the fire brigade? Where's the tap? Where's the hose? It's like, just couldn't do anything. So from the shock, I suppose. It was terrible. Just lucky our neighbor called, and that morning had 2 fires. If they had gone to the first fire, our house would have gone. We wouldn't have a place. I think we'd be on the street now.
If there is a fire, call 911. For more information, contact the National Fire Authority office at 331-2877 or visit their website at www.nfa.gov.fj. Or you can contact your nearest certified fire protection consultants listed in your Yellow Pages.